I'm playing dead for 12 points.
Got a 7-letter word on my rack, but there's no way to get it on the board. I wish I could. What are you?
Some folks think I'm creepy, others think I'm just absurd. I'm the dictionary fairy, and I come when you wish upon a word.
Why are you here?
You wished you could play the word caution, and I'm here to tell you that you can. You can play it here.
En is a word? Like the letter?
Or you can play it here.
Na, id, oid. These aren't words.
Oh, but they are, darling. You really must learn the 2-letter words in your dictionary of choice. Merriam-Webster, in your case, it has 107. Come with me on a magical journey and we'll learn them all. There are 24 basic words you learn to read in grade 1. The pronouns he, me, us, we, it, and my, the article an, the prepositions of, at, by, in, on, and to, the existence verbs am, be, and is, the adverbs as, no, and up, the conjunctions so, if, and or, and the common verbs go and do. Now what about the 83 other words? To go with the everyday pronouns, we can add the archaic ye, as in ye of little faith. To go with the common verbs, there's the uncommon past tense form of the common verb eat, et, as in...
What do you want, Raylan? Leftover chicken? It's all been et.
Now let's talk about names of musical notes. There are 8 you'll remember from The Sound of Music. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. T has 2 spellings, and it is called si in much of the world, while do was historically called ut until the 17th century. So before your next Scrabble match, sing this. Spelled with an I or E, and on the continent at sea. That will bring us back to what, ut. Now we come to the names of letters. In English, I've never had occasion to write out the letter names instead of just write the letters themselves, but when we do, we find that 7 have 2-letter forms acceptable in Scrabble. The Greek alphabet contains 4 letters which are written out with 2-letter names. Mu, which you may recognize from micrometers. Nu, which is used for degrees of freedom in statistics. Pi, the symbol for that wonderful irrational number you once recited 100 digits of while standing on your head. And Z, which you may recognize as the E in the Tesla logo. The Hebrew alphabet also contributes 2 2-letter names to the Scrabble dictionary. And weirdly, they're kind of the same letter. The P and F sounds are indicated by the same symbol, with or without the dagesh dot. Hebrew has liturgical significance, so let us turn our attention to religious concepts on the Scrabble 2-letter list. In Hinduism and other Indian religions, Om is more than just a mantra used in meditation. It is the sonic essence of the Supreme Absolute, the cosmic consciousness in syllable form. So next time you lay Om on a Scrabble board, try to experience that. Now, didn't you have a deep late-night discussion lately about how you don't believe in an immortal soul because everything that makes you uniquely you is dependent on the structures and chemistry of your physical brain? The ancient Egyptians thought about that sort of thing a lot. They divided the soul into many components, 2 of which are Scrabble words. You were fixated on your ba, your personality. Also, 2 letters is the ka, the life spark, the difference between a living body and a dead one. From Chinese religious thought, we get another life force, and it's the single most played word in tournament Scrabble, chi.
I have taken the chi of every master here. No. Yes.
Merriam also accepts the spelling ki, which is found in contexts when the Chinese concept of chi reached the West filtered via Japanese. Chi with a K is like Richi Mahjong, the Japanese spin on a Chinese thing. There is one more vital force in the Scrabble 2s, Ode, which was proposed in 1845 by German chemist Karl Reichenbach, who named it after the god Odin. He claimed that all living things emanated an odic force that was visible as an aura in the dark, but only to very sensitive individuals. 70-odd years later, Freud gave us another pseudo-scientific two-letter term, id, the part of the psyche that deals in instinctual needs and desires. Moving from human nature to nature, there are only 2 animals on the two-letter list. Now, I can't find any video evidence of this, but apparently pale-throated sloths like this one make an "ai" sound, and are therefore sometimes called eyes. Then there's the stolid ox. As for plants, a ya is indisputably an Asian pear. But al being on the list is one of the most dubious two-letter words. It's supposed to be a name for the Indian mulberry tree, Morina citrifolia, but that plant has over 100 names. AWL is one of them, but I've yet to find it spelled AL anywhere outside a dictionary. Your parents are on the two-letter list, ma and pa, and also da. Whether you say pa or da is a regional thing, which brings us to regionalisms. Beau, to mean friend, is apparently common in South Carolina, while the British ta, for thanks, is surely familiar to you because of the copious amounts of British TV you watch. The nation of Scotland is the richest source of regional words. I mean, who can really say where the Scottish dialect of English ends and the distinct language Scots begins? My personal conspiracy theory is that the lexicographers at Merriam-Webster decreed that if a Scots word appeared in a Bobby Burns poem, then it counts as English enough. Bobby Burns has a poem with I to mean one. I fond kiss and then we sever. I farewell and then forever. His poem Tam O'Shanter contains na to mean not. We think na and the long Scot smiles. The moss's water slaps and styles. And thanks to Burns, you probably sing the very useful Scrabble word Joe, meaning sweetheart, once a year at the very beginning of the year. For auld lang syne, my Joe, for auld lang syne. I had to eschew Bobby Burns for the Bard to find any use of woe as a shorter way of writing woe. Readers of the modern text of Romeo and Juliet see the line, This day's black fate on more day doth depend, this but begins the woe others must end. But readers of the first folio version, published in 1623, find, This day's black fate on mo days doth depend, this but begins the woe others must end. Slight problem with this, though. Woe with no E is in the Scrabble dictionary, but black with an E is not, and day spelled D-A-I-E-S is not, so what are we actually doing here? There are 2 Asian units in the list of twos. A lai is a Chinese mile, which has been standardized to a half kilometer, about a 7-minute walk. It's exactly the distance between your house and your favorite local restaurant. A zoo was historically the smallest unit of Vietnamese currency. It's cent, 1/100th of a dong. Alas, due to inflation, 1 dong is worth 0.000053 Canadian dollars, and a zoo is 100th of that, so 0.00000053. So if you walk 1 li to the bistro and buy a beef dip, it will cost 33 million zoo. Expensive. One food the Cork and Bone does not sell is za, short for pizza. The Scrabble dictionary rules regarding abbreviations state that they can be acceptable as long as they're not initialisms, the subset of abbreviations where you hear the letter names. So za for pizza is acceptable, but TV for television is not. Along with za, the other 2-letter abbreviations are ab for abdominal muscle, ag for agriculture, ad for advertisement, bi for bisexual, ed for education, mo for moment, and op as in op art, as in optical art, as in whoa, groovy. Now there is one exception to the rule that abbreviations where you hear the letter names don't count. Okay is weirdly okay. 2 other 2-letter words that I would say chafe at the game rules a bit are the census-themed French loanwords ne and de. If Sally Smith marries Joey Jones and takes his last name, she becomes Sally Jones née Smith. But if they depart from tradition and he takes her last name, #feminism, he becomes Joey Smith née Jones, with 1 E because that's the masculine form. The accents would make the word Scrabble unacceptable, but they are omitted often enough that ni makes the list. De is harder to justify, but I think Merriam-Webster's lexicographer's hear me out spiel would go like this. English people say Charles de Gaulle instead of translating it to Charles of Gaul, so that's admitting de into the language. And since it isn't capitalized, it isn't forbidden under the proper names rule. Secretly, in my heart, when I play Al in Scrabble, I'm extending the de ruling to Arabic names like Al-Farabi, instead of relying on the dubious alternate spelling of the mulberry bush. Although the hyphens do complicate things, there is another whole category of two-letter words that may seem sus to some players, the 20 two-letter interjections. Want to attract a friend's attention in a crowd? Try calling hi, yo, or the older lo. Lo is now mainly used in lo and behold, the 18th century version of yo chicken. If your friend says something surprising, depending on the surprise, your response might be oh, or eh, or oh, or ah, or ha, or if you're Santa Claus, ho! If their statement elicits no emotional response but merely assent, try If you have something difficult to say to your friend, you may experience a moment's hesitation first, but you can fill that silence with or if you're thinking hard, Now suppose someone in the crowd bumps you while you're thinking, you might respond with oi or oi, the spelling largely depending on whether you're British or Jewish or neither or both. If the bump hurts a lot, you might say ow, and if they spit on you, you. Your friend might just silence you to prevent a fight, whispering shh, which I think looks really weird without the second H. The rarest interjection of the 20 is I, as in
Oh, me.
She speaks.
At last we return to words for real things. You have heard of an axe, and if you've ever done karate, a gi. In your geology degree, you doubtless learned that the two types of lava flow are low-speed, low-viscosity pahoihoi and high-speed, high-viscosity ah-ah. Did they also tell you that an esker, a ridge formed by a glacier, can also be called an ose? 3 words left! Here's a big un. Un, as in big un and little un. Barely a word, I'd say, but quite useful if you plan to make an un-word off it next turn. Our penultimate word is pot, meaning chamber pot. Probably from the French pot de chambre. And for our final word we travel to the Faroe Islands, a windy archipelago in the North Atlantic, population 54,900. Its capital city receives the fewest hours of sunshine of any city in the world. Merriam-Webster defines Øy as a whirlwind off the coast of the Faroe Islands. The OED attributes the first English usage of Øy to Robert Jameson, a Scot who translated ballads from ancient Danish. For it to count as a loanword, I trust it was subsequently used by someone writing an original text in English, but I've yet to find any evidence thereof. I don't even think contemporary Faroe Islanders use Øy, since it doesn't appear on this giant list of Faroese terms related to wind. But you, my dear, may use it in Scrabble. So go ahead and play caution for 71 glorious points.
I will! Thank you. Thank you so much.